All right. So I did a video which was a stitch of what I think was a comedian saying that if you want to solve the problem with weapon regulation, gun regulation, then you should just arm every black person and have every one of those people attend the same rallies, and that'll solve the problem really quick. And then I went on to express some of the dangers with that, why that wouldn't work, and why it's a bad idea. And then, of course, the comments came in. And so I don't know the one up top there. If they not from the land, they should not have guns. I don't think that even is relevant. Just these are the kind of people I have to deal with. Does anyone remember the last time the government tried to convince people? Do y'all remember who did it? No, I'm not familiar with that because I don't know of any event where they tried to take guns from the people in this country. I'm not. If you guys would care to tell me an event, I'll be glad to look into it, but I don't recall at all. And y'all do know we have black gun groups. I'll get into that one in a minute. And then Black Panthers came up a bit. It was like, yeah, Black Panthers, we had that happen. No, not in the way I'm talking about, and I'll talk about this in a minute. So, all right. So let's start with the comments about we already had that with the Black Panthers. And what I'm talking about, no, we didn't. The Black Panthers, what they did was very necessary, was very important, and I'm not going to get in a whole ordeal about it here. That's a whole history lesson itself. You don't know, go look up what they did and what they had to do. They were protecting their people, and I support them in that. And we do need groups like that still. We should still have groups like that. I feel we don't have those kind of groups anymore. In our current recent history, I have only seen black people armed once in response to something like the Proud Boys, and I was so excited for that because I was glad to see somebody standing up against that group of people that were people of color. I thought it was great, but I've only seen it once, and then it seemed to go away. But no, we don't. Black Panthers weren't doing the same thing as what most modern white groups are. That's the thing. Like, what modern white groups are doing is hate. Black Panthers were fighting for justice. They were doing things to help their people. Granted, that doesn't mean it was a perfect thing. It doesn't mean there weren't problems, because there were. But it was still far better than what white people have done at this point. Now, getting into, black people have their own gun group. Yeah, I'm going to pull something up here on my side so I can get the name right for this. But you guys have the National African American Gun Association. Its current standing for members is 45,000. And while I'm glad that's there, you're still working within the bounds of white law. So you're basically doing as you're told. And I'm sorry if you don't like to hear that, but that's what you're being told what to do. And that group's there because it is probably easier to get into that group because the NRA is probably inherently racist. I'm going to make a guess there. Let's look at the NRA membership, even though it's dropped, okay? You're 45,000 compared to 4.3 million members in the NRA. That's a problem because you're still under the confines of 4.3 million members of the NRA who are most likely racist and have no problem shooting a person of color because they believe they're emboldened. That's the problem. And that's what I'm concerned with, is that the 45,000, even if they all showed up, would be quickly disseminated by the NRA members. And I hate that. So no, as I stated in the previous video, we need a better method. There need to be better things we're doing. And even if more people joined the black equivalent of NRA, you would see white people quickly make laws to marginalize and stop people of color, as has always gone on in this country. And that's what's wrong. That is the problem. So if you can show me other information, great. But while I appreciate what BLM has done, I don't feel that BLM is on the scale of what the Black Panthers were. I would be proud as an American to see the people of color in this country do better to stand up for themselves, because I feel helpless. There was a video I did that got lost, and I can't capture that emotion or passion that I had in that video in particular. But I wish I could do more, and I feel like I can't. Like, I'm not able to help any more than just staying out of the way at this point, because I feel like when white people get involved, they get in the way and they mess things up even more. So I wish I could do more. If there's more I can do, you let me know. But there are other creators I follow in here that are black that I look up to, and I think they are amazing in what they're doing. And they've made it very clear that I'm probably just going to get in the way because I'm not going to have the same heart or feeling or, amount of collateral, if you will, in the game that they have. And I can't sit here and tell you I know what a person of color goes through. I have a surface idea of what they go through on a daily basis. I do know how they get treated, though. I see that. So, yeah, just getting this out here to address those comments in that video.